Welcome back to the Ecology in Motion podcast. And if you've ever woken up with a jaw so tight it feels like you've been chewing rocks in your sleep, or if you're a practitioner who's tired of chasing symptoms that just won't quit, then this episode is for you. Because today we're talking about the jaw. Yes, that stubborn, fascinating hinge that lets us talk and eat and chew gum and unfortunately store a lifetime's worth of tension. So does Gua sha really help with jaw pain? The answer, absolutely, but only if you stop thinking of the jaw as an isolated part and start seeing it as a living, breathing ecosystem that it is. So pour yourself a drink, unclench your teeth, and let's get into the real story. Let's be honest, TMJ pain is a shapeshifter. Some days it's a dull ache. Others, it's a click, a pop, or a full-blown headache that makes you want to hide under the covers. But here's the thing, it's almost never just about the joint. The jaw is a vascular crossroads. When tension or inflammation clamps down, blood flow drops, healing slows, and pain ramps up. Imagine a river that's been dammed by fallen trees. The water is stagnant, it's murky and it's slow. That's your jaw on chronic tension. Fascia is the body's connective tissue web, and the jaw is wrapped in it like a present at a child's birthday party. And when that wrapping gets too tight, thanks to stress or injury or just life, it pulls on everything. Your temples, your neck, even your ear. Do you ever get a headache that starts in your jaw and ends up behind your eyes? Well, that's the fascia at work. Let's not pretend the jaw isn't where we store our unsaid words, our stress, our "I'll just get through the day" grit. Science backs this up. The limbic system, our emotional HQ, is hardwired to the muscles of the face and the jaw. Chronic stress doesn't just make us tense, it literally reshapes how our jaw moves and feels. If you're nodding along, you're not alone. TMJ pain is a full body, full life experience. You can't treat the jaw without looking at its neighbours. This is where most quick fix approaches fall totally flat. The jaw and neck are like dance partners. When one stumbles, the other compensates. The masseter, the temporalis, the pterygoid muscles, they all send feedback to the cervical spine. And if your posture is a disaster, hello phone zombies, your jaw is paying the price. That thick ropey muscle running from your ear to your collarbone is the unsung hero and sometimes the villain of jaw health. A tight sternocleidomastoid muscle can refer pain into the jaw, ear, and even the forehead. Release the SCM, or the sternocleidomastoid, and you might just unlock the jaw without ever touching it. If you're living in fight or flight mode, your jaw is too. Chronic tension keeps the body on high alert, making healing nearly impossible. The jaw, neck, and nervous system are in constant conversation, sometimes shouting, sometimes whispering, but always connected. Now, the bottom line is, if you treat the jaw in isolation, you're missing the plot. So let's bust a big myth. Gua sha isn't about just scraping where it hurts. Used with skill, it's a way to restore flow, release tension, and invite the body back into balance. It increases microcirculation. Gentle, targeted Gua sha brings fresh blood to the area, washing away inflammation and speeding up repair. Think of it as clearing debris from a river so water can flow again. It also releases myofascial tension. Now, Gua sha helps to reduce obstruction in motion, not just in the jaw, but in the neck, in the sternocleidomastoid muscle, in the upper back. And sometimes the culprit is nowhere near the pain. It also calms the nervous system. Pick the right areas and it tells your body, hey, it's safe now. This shift from fight or flight to rest and digest is where real healing begins. It improves joint mobility, By restoring tissue pliability and reducing muscle guarding, Gua sha can help you open your mouth wider, chew without pain, and yes, smile more easily. But here's the catch. If you only chase symptoms, you'll never get to the root. The best results come from treating the jaw as part of a living landscape. Releasing the neck, the SCM, and the scalp and the upper back, or the glutes, or the hamstrings, or the quads, whatever's needed. Ever notice how animals clench their jaws when threatened? That's the bite reflex, a survival mechanism wired into mammals. Now, in humans, chronic stress, trauma, or emotional overload can keep this reflex switched on long after the threat's gone. The result? Jaw tension that won't quit. The cranial sacral system is the body's internal tide, a subtle rhythm involving the brain, spinal cord, and cerebrospinal fluid. When this rhythm is disrupted by tension, trauma, or poor posture, you get headaches, jaw pain, and more. Gua sha can help restore this natural flow, not just in the jaw, but throughout the head and neck. Treating the jaw in isolation is like trying to fix a river by scooping water from one bend. You have to clear the banks, open the tributaries, and let the whole system flow. So when confronted by a health issue such as this, it's important to know when to refer out. So if there are any of these symptoms, for example, severe unrelenting pain, jaw which is locked open or locked shut, a sudden swelling, numbness or loss of function, a history of trauma, fracture or cancer, and symptoms that don't improve after 6 or 8 weeks of skilled care, now this is when you're going to definitely refer out. But treating should be unproblematic if there's mild to moderate TMJ pain without any red flags. If there's chronic headaches or jaw tension linked to stress and posture or myofascial patterns, or looking to reduce reliance on medications or invasive procedures. So let's look at how to build a plan. Here are 6 steps. 1. Assess the landscape. Look for postural patterns in the neck and shoulders, especially tension and emotional stressors. Palpate the jaw, the neck, and the SCM for tight, painful areas and restrictions. Number 2, release the neck and the SCM first. Start with Gua sha on the neck and the SCM to open the vascular and neural pathways. Only then move on to the head and then the jaw. Probably the jaw is at the end. And number 3, work with the nervous system. Use rhythmic strokes on the scalp. Encourage diaphragmatic breathing and relaxation. Number 4, address emotional patterns. Invite clients to notice when and why they clench. Sometimes awareness is the first step towards release. Now, these emotional triggers can be focused on with Gua sha, but that's another podcast. Number 5, educate and empower. Teach simple self-care techniques for at-home practice. The neck, for example, how easy would that be to teach someone? Emphasize posture and stress management and regular movement. And the last one, number 6, is to monitor and adjust. You've got to track progress. You've got to reassess and not be afraid to refer out if things aren't improving. Your jaw is not a machine to be fixed. It's a mouthpiece of your whole ecosystem. Gua sha can be a game changer, but only if you treat the jaw as part of a living, breathing landscape. Don't chase symptoms. Release what's upstream. Listen to the body's logic, not just the latest trend. So next time your jaw aches or a client walks in with a headache that starts behind their teeth, remember, you're not just treating a joint, you're tending a river, a forest, a whole living system. So thanks for listening. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep honoring the logic of living systems. If you've enjoyed this episode, share it, tag me, and let's keep the conversation going.